all about the healing. What up, though? What up, though? What up, though, with my peeps? Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. My day ones, my day twos, my new news. What's up with you? You already know I love you. Yes, I do. All right, so let's get into it. So what this is about somebody who really harmed you, caused you so much pain, and this was their intent to do. Whether it was physical, they done something to you physically, they injured you physically, or did they injure you spiritually, or did they injure you mentally? But this person really caused you heartbreak, caused you harm, hurt you really badly. You had to recover, and it took you time to recover, and some of you still are recovering. Nonetheless, you did the work to recover. You did the work by walking away. You did the work by turning away. You did the work by denouncing this person. You did the work by cutting the cord. You did the work by abandoning this person, abandoning the relationship, abandoning your thoughts about this person. You released yourself. You released the attachments, that the pattern that this person had on you. You released all of that. You really thought that this particular person loved you. You thought that was what they did. They did those things to you because they loved you. You had a false sense of what love truly was and meant. You thought that people who cared about you did those type of things because they loved you, but that's not love. You had to learn what real love is and what it consists of, and you learned how to give yourself real love so you can be able to give the people around you real, authentic, true love. So it started from outside of you. You learned what love is, what love is not. You learn how to release, cut, get rid of, walk away from, turn your back from people, places, and things that would not love you and love you properly the way you deserve to be loved. You start honoring yourself and seeing your value and your worth, and you stand and you stood on business with that. You made people respect you. You made yourself, you gave yourself self-respect, and you demanded people to respect you for it. Through honoring and loving yourself and giving yourself the true love that you deserve and you're worthy of, you then demanded and commanded people to love you and respect you the way you deserve. And for those who didn't and would not, you got rid of them. You blocked them. You cut the cord. You removed them. And you moved on. So, including this person who really hurt you, placed you in a box, and left you there in a holding pattern. And they will come back and forth to this box where they left you, back and forth. But you learned that this person would never change. They would never give you what you deserve. They would never love you the way you needed to be loved. And you deserve to be loved. So you released them. You abandoned the relationship. You made the choice to do so. And you stood on business and you followed through. So as it stands today, this person still think that they have the power and the resources to place you back in that box. That any day now, they're going to have the power and the resource to place you back in that box. Any day now, they're going to be able to cause harm and conflict and confuse your mind and trick you and place you back where you belong in that box. But what they don't understand and understand and overstand is that box is never, that box that you was in, you never was meant to be in. And you allowed them to place you in that box. And so you know now about that box, and you know that that's not where you want to be. You're no longer allowing people, places, and things to place you in positions that you know you don't want to be in. So that box, you'll never agree, you'll never allow, you'll never go back into this empty space again, because you know that you don't deserve that. You know that you're worth more than being forced to be, or being, you're more valuable, and you hold more value than being placed in an empty box, a dark, empty box. So you have no intentions. That's what this person is not getting. They were able to place you in there because you were cooperating with them. You were allowing. You didn't see your value. You thought that box is where you was meant to be, but you now know that box is not. It's not fitting for human consumption to be in that box, an empty box. You were not happy in that box. It was dark. It was cold. It was empty. It didn't have any sound. It wasn't a happy space. It wasn't a place that you felt whole and complete and you felt at peace. That box was not where you wanted to be, and you'll never go back to that box for them and anybody else, because now you know that you deserve better. Now you know that you want better, and now you have better. You have no reason to go back to an empty box. You have no reason to go into an empty space, and you have no reason to sit in darkness when you're so full of life, light, and abundance. On the other hand, this particular person which is masculine energy, male or female. This person wants everybody to think that they are the emperor, that they are the king, that they are the be-all, end-all. But this person holds no victory, have no victory. This person has no substance or value. On the inside of them, there are nothing, a lot of nothingness, empty, cold, just like that box. That's what this person feels on the inside of them, full of emptiness, darkness, not whole, not complete. Don't know if they're coming or if they're going. Not happy. Always trying to fill a void. Always trying to fill a place because they're numb. Always trying to make they're always trying to not feel. Right. Which one? Hold on. Yeah, they always trying to feel their life, to numb. They don't want to feel. So they do things to numb, to feel nothing. They don't want to feel anything. So that is part of why they don't have a victory. See, they really will fit right in to that box that they placed you in, because they're living their life as if they are in a box. They want everybody to see them like they the big dog, they the boss energy, but on the inside they're nothing. They don't feel nothing like what they display on the outside. On the inside, they are riddled with fears and anxiety and insecurities. They don't have confidence and they don't have confidence in nothing. They don't have confidence in their job, their abilities, their intelligence. They don't have the confidence in the things that they do, who they are, what they can do. Whatever gifts, talents, and abilities they have, they don't have the confidence in them. This is a really insecure masculine energy. Has a lot of issues that need to be addressed. So when this person is looking at you, and when this person is reflecting back to you, they want to get you back. They want to get you back in that box, because they feel like if they can get you back in that box, then that would do something for their self-esteem. That would put them, give them power and resources, because a person of your stature, the person that is stable and grounded, and the person that have it all together, and stamina and abilities, gifted, and have all the self-respect and the self-love and the value, if they would be able to trick you and get you to get back into that position, how that would boost their ego and self-esteem and place them in a position that they once were, and how they once felt about themselves. They utilize you to build their self-esteem. They utilize you to create a false sense of security. They use you to inflate their ego, to make them feel and make them look at themselves as much higher and more powerful than they truly are. You gave them confidence. You gave them a sense of control, and you boosted their ego in ways that no one ever have. And when you left and you abandoned them, you placed them in a isolated, limited hole that they've been struggling with trying to feel, struggling with trying to get back in power, gain that confidence back, and get themselves back on track and off this roller coaster, up and down, all around. But they feel like they can't do it without you. You are a vital part of bringing their self-esteem and confidence up. This person don't get it. They want to use you to boost their self-esteem. They want to use you to fix their insecurities. They want to place you in a less than box. Place you in a limited position, have control and manipulation, and control the narrative of your life so they can boost their self-esteem and their confidence. And they think that that's normal. And they think that that's right. These readings lately is blowing my mind, how people think. Instead of this person taking their eyes off of you and look within themselves and fix their own problems, their own issues, their own feelings, their own insecurities, fixing their own innermost being, thoughts, feelings, and emotions. They trying to find a way to put you back in a box, to limit you, to stop you, to block you, to keep you from rising, to keep you from transforming, to keep you from moving forward, so they can feel good and feel secure and confident. What is going on? What is really going on? You walked away. You changed. They don't want to change. This person don't want to change. That's the problem. They don't want to change. They want you to go back in time. Go back to the time where you felt less than. Go back to a time when you didn't feel good about you. You didn't know your worth. You didn't know your value. You didn't love yourself. And you didn't love yourself. You didn't love yourself so much that you was willing to go and get in a box. You gave somebody else your free will and went and lived in a box because you felt that was where you needed to be. Or you loved someone else more than you loved yourself, so you was willing, because you loved them, willing to go get in the box, that they live your life in the box. And this person wants you to go back to that. But you rose above. You found your way. And what makes people think, places and things think that they are worthy or they're worth any of the collective to go back in time or go back to a limited mindset, go back to another time and place where we were less than. We thought less of ourselves. We didn't love ourselves. We didn't value ourselves. We didn't see our value. We didn't see our worth. We thought somebody else was more valuable, more worthy than our own self, our own soul and salvation. And instead of them coming up to where you are, learning what you had to learn, going through what you, because where you are is where they want to be, but they don't want to do the work. They don't want to change. That's the problem. They admire your strength. They admire where you are. They want to be where you are. It's a great place to be. But they don't want to do the work. They don't want to do what's required to be where you are. So if they can't do the work, they want you to go back. They don't want to meet you where you are. They want you to come back down to where they are so they can boost their self-esteem, so they can boost their ego, so things could be balanced. See, right now things is like this. No. The collective's not going to do that. The person that wants the collective to do that is delusional. They not seeing it. That there's something going on in the mental, because that don't make any sense. The collective is in the come up. The collective is loving themselves. The collective have learned how to love themselves, have made the sacrifice, and have made people, places, and things around them respect them and honor them and place that value on their life. What makes this person think that they're going to go back for them? They're not worth it. No. They want you to dummy down and go back to where you were the most vulnerable, the most delusional about yourself, about who you are, what you are, and what you represent. No. 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 They're delusional. They're not seeing it straight. What they want, don't nobody care. Nobody's interested. If they want anybody to get in the box, they can go ahead and get in the box themselves. They can have the whole box all to themselves. Let you alone. Let you live your life. Move on. Because this here ain't even worth you even thinking about. It's not even worth your time or your effort, because what they talking about ain't about nothing. It's complete foolishness. Nobody's going back in time. Nobody's going back in the box. Nobody's getting ready to allow somebody to hurt them and harm them again. For what? For their self-esteem? For them to feel good about themselves? No, ma'am, no, sir. If that's what it's going to take for you to feel good about you, so be it. You'll never feel good another day in your life then. If you depending on collective to go back so you can feel good, you're going to be waiting, honey. You're going to be waiting. You're going to be waiting a long time. So with that, I'm going to leave that there. Leave that energy there. And we're going to all leave that energy right there. And whoever in that energy, y'all, you stay stay on with that. And leave collective out of it. Because that ain't going to happen. That ain't going to roll. And ain't nobody getting ready to be bothered with that. So with that, if this resonated, it resonated. And so be it. I wouldn't want to... so be it. It resonated. So be it. It is so. So be it. It is so. All right. So with that, like, share, subscribe. Hype it up. Comment. Leave me a comment. Leave me an emoji. Let me know you working with it. It helps the channel. So with that, Trinity is out.